Hi, buenos dias. I am in paradise, or as they call it here, the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, in the jungle, next to a waterfall, enjoying nature. The past 4 days, my friend Jana and I have participated in the Lost City Trek. It's a trek, a 4-day trek, to Ciudad Perdida, or as the people here call it, Teyuna, which is an archeological site in the middle of the jungle. For the past 4 days, we've been hiking in the heat. We've been hiking in the rain because it's rain season. We've been passing through rivers. We've been climbing rocks. We've been sliding mud mountains. We've been passing or saving ourselves from stubborn mules. We've been seeing beautiful frogs, spiders, butterflies, birds, plants, trees. We've been climbing like hundreds or even 1,000 ancient stairs up onto the archaeological site. We've been coping with a lot of mosquito bites, but we made it. So, Ciudad Perdida. Well, we're in Colombia, and before the Spanish colonized the area, Colombia was populated by various peoples. They had a crazy knowledge about nature, about our planet, and about metallurgy, like for example making golden objects from golden stones that they caught in rivers and so on. Right now, Colombia is full of, well, in every city you have a Museo del Oro, or a gold museum, and there you can find lots of golden objects made by all those different peoples, and you can see what they represented for them. They have a very, very inspiring spirituality, and the gold for them was not a form of wealth, it was part of their spirituality. For them it reflected, or it was the ultimate reflection of the sun, and they made golden objects in the form of jewelry or animals, and in the end they would use them in offerings to Mother Nature. They wouldn't use them for themselves, but they would use them to thank our earth. So they would go onto lakes, which they saw as the womb of Mother Nature, and they would offer the gold and the sun to Mother Earth. a mixture of people, of ethnicities and cultures. But there still are lots of indigenous peoples living in Colombia. I don't have service or internet here, so I can't really Google how many there are, but if I remember correctly, I think it's about more than 80 indigenous peoples with more than 60 different languages. They live all across the country, and some of them still live here in the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, which is close to the Caribbean coast and is a mountain range. So yeah, in the past, the Tayrona people used to live here. The Tayrona. So yeah, in the past, the Tayrona people used to live here. The Tayrona were a people who also had all that knowledge about nature and about metallurgy and about society and about building cities. All over the jungle here, they built cities in the form of different terraces where they had their huts, where they had their little like cemeteries, where they had tombs of people which they also filled with gold. Now, when the Spanish came and colonized the area, they fought the Tayrona for very long, but in the end, most of them died because of the foreign diseases that the Spanish brought in. And the leftover people, they fled to higher areas up in the mountains. Then, if we fast forward in history, in I think 1973, gold diggers found some of those terraces. They found gold and olden stones and old constructions, and they started selling all the gold that they could find on the black market. Then there were some fights and some robbings, but in the end, the government and archaeologists took over the area and they started digging it up as an archaeological site. But then the people from the mountains, the indigenous people who still lived there, they started protesting because for them the area was still seen as a spiritual place, and digging up the city and digging up the gold actually meant that you were blocking the reincarnation process that the Tayrona people believed in. So they stopped digging up gold. So I think there's probably still a lot of gold up there. But they did like swipe away some of the jungle. So now the city is an archaeological site which can be visited. Apparently there are many more terraces all over the jungle here, but they are not being like searched for, or they don't become archaeological sites because the area is also a natural park and a reservate for indigenous peoples, so they can't do it. They can't dig up, and I think it's a good thing because it also brings lots of tourism and it destroys a bit of the nature. It destroys the spirituality that the indigenous people still live in, so I think it's fine that they don't dig them up. But yeah, apparently the jungle is full of it. So, Ciudad Perdida is in the middle of the jungle. You can't go there by car. You can't even go there by motor taxi. The only way to go there is by hiking. Hiking for several days through the jungle. Mules can pass as well, so they can carry your food, for example, but you can't do it on your own. because the area is still very complex. It's full of, well, it has had quite a history also with the cocaine and paramilitaries, which is again food for thought and for another vlog. But yeah, you can also do it organized with a tour. So that's what we did. So apart from us tourists hiking to the Ciudad Perdida, or Teyuna as the people call it here, there are still people living here. There are farmers, and in the reservoir there are lots of indigenous people. Today there are 4 indigenous groups living here, and they are descendants of the Tayrona, but they have split into 4 groups which also have different languages, and well, most of them dress in white clothing, and they do still have the same beliefs, some of the same rituals, some of the same traditions, and they see Teyuna, or the Ciudad Perdida, as a spiritual place. We've been passing them 4 days long. Some of them have become guides. The leader of the different tribes lives near the Ciudad Perdida, or actually on the archaeological site.
Pero no tenemos más.
Pero creo que Bruno.
Ah, sí, claro.
Pregunta Bruno.
Yeah, I have a few doubts when it comes to this trek, because we are tourists intruding nature, intruding the reservoir of the indigenous people, always walking on their spiritual site, which is the archaeological site, and also inspiring or like imposing some Western ideas and habits into their lives. I'm very critical about this, and I sometimes felt very bad about it, but we've talked about it with our guide, and actually it's just very double. It has disadvantages and advantages. The advantages are that we are providing income to families, hundreds of families in the area. The area here is very, very complex and has had a conflictuous past because of coca farms and cocaine and narco trafficking and paramilitaries and fighting. And as our guide said, the Lost City Trek is basically the new form of narco trafficking. We are. And we provide income also for the Indígenas, the indigenous groups. And we can learn about their views of the world and how they connect with Mother Nature, which is good. They also have more medical help, apart from their own medical views and knowledge. And they also have like practical things like rain boots, or right now they walk around with walkie-talkies, or is it talkie-walkies, or is it walkie-talkies? I don't know. Anyway, like they can communicate more easily, which is good. On the other hand, some of them are get in touch with Western ideas and habits so much that they start like they want to live that life as well, and they lose their connection with their spirituality and Mother Nature. That's not good, in my opinion. But apparently it's also only a small area here, and there are many more indigenous groups in the area which don't get in touch with us tourists. That's where our guide said. I'm not completely sure about it. I also don't have internet or Google, or I can't research it at all. So I'm still a bit critical, but yeah, it has advantages and disadvantages. Here is mighty. The mountains, the huge rivers, how everything finds their way and pulls and pushes in nature, it's crazy. It always is. Nature is always mighty, but we tend to forget, like at least I do when living in like the big city life. But here it's just so obvious, it overwhelms you. I just wonder, like as a human being, it makes you so humble and so tiny, tiny, tiny with those huge mountains around you that you start wondering how it is possible that we as tiny creatures on this earth are destroying the earth and eventually destroying ourselves. It's just crazy and really sad actually. This is really a hike of reflection for me. So if there is one lesson I'm taking with me from this trip, it's reconnecting with nature. The Tayrona people in the past and the people today, they live in such harmony with nature. For them, nature is not something apart from them, but they are part of the bigger picture. Mother Nature is something huge and holy for them, and I think that's so impressive and something that we as Westerns have really forgotten about. So the past 4 days for me were all about reconnecting with Mother Nature. There was no internet, no service, so I was offline all the time. And we were just walking through nature. I could smell it, I could hear the sounds of the jungle. I saw such beautiful creations of Mother Nature, such beautiful things. And I could just totally feel it, and I felt so humble and small in this big jungle with all the mountains, and the feeling was amazing. So yeah, that's something I want to take with me for the rest of my travels, for the rest of my life, and I could only advise other people to do the same. To get back to basics and go into nature and go hiking or just sitting and enjoying and not destroying nature, but taking care of it, being respectful towards it, and maybe even improving nature or recovering nature. Just so beautiful. So I want to thank everybody who made this trek possible and everybody who wants to give that wisdom to all the tourists who come here. And yeah, I'm going to throw away this camera now and enjoy nature a bit more. Hasta mañana!